Good morning. Well, it is Saturday, and that means it is time for an episode of Robert's Mailbox. This is episode number 4. Um, so we're gonna review an email. Let's get into it. So as you can see, we have 419 emails in this bad boy. So I haven't done this in a minute. So it looks like I've kind of glanced at this, and I went through this the other day, and I actually recorded an episode, but I wasn't happy with it, so I didn't release it. But this one's going to be pretty sick. So let's see what we have over here in promotions. Hmm, Okay, so not all of these, but for a lot of these, I'm seeing how they ended up in promotions because they look like promotions. Okay, so we're not going to mess with these. Let's go back here. First, let's just check out these subject lines and see if anything is going to see if anything just kind of like grabs my attention and makes me want to look at it. This is interesting. So really, like, I'm kind of looking for something that really grabs me with curiosity, something that points towards a huge benefit, or something that does both of those things really well. So mainly, I just am looking for a subject line that makes me feel like I can't not read it. Hmm, That's cool. Geez. Also, for whatever reason, I'm drawn to money subject lines. That's a personal thing. Maybe I'll talk to my therapist about that. And also, Ramit Sethi just writes great fucking emails, freaking emails. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. I like this. Let's see what's going on here. Don Miller. Okay. It looks like they are about to do a launch, potentially a PLF, product launch formula style launch. A lot of the times, if a company is doing that style of launch, it was invented by Jeff Walker. And what they'll do is they'll send a series of videos that kind of function as the sales letter in and of itself. So it's building these beliefs and kind of like teaching you these things that by the end of it, when they introduce the product, you are not only very excited about it, but you also really see like the huge benefit of it. So that's pretty cool, but there's not enough there for us to really review today. So we know Ben Settle's going to have awesome emails. Again, see Don Miller video. Let's just check this out and see if they're, let's see, one day live stream. It's happening next week. Okay, so I would bet a large sum of money that on this event, they are going to announce an opening for a course that teaches you about writing. It could be the story brand course, it could be something else, but bet money on it. All right, what else? YouTube and the Prophecy of Doom. Ben Settle. Nice. See, like I want to review this one, but I've already reviewed Ramit's emails. And the reason why I like this subject line here is because it is really a good combination of curiosity and benefit. It's a 30-minute masterclass, right? Which is a benefit. Writing killer emails, that's a benefit. But when you combine those things, it's the idea that you could write that you could learn how to write killer emails in 30 minutes is pretty unique and pretty strong. So I really like that. I'm not going to review it because I've already done an episode where I review an email from Ramit. That's episode number 1. So if you want to see that, go check it out. Okay, really, I love these. Dang it. He's writing such good subject lines, and I'm so interested, but there's just not enough copy here for us to really benefit from reviewing. So let's see what else we got going on. Um, okay, hang on. I feel like I saw. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. The other day I reviewed one of Ryan Levesque's emails, and it was pretty solid. I just feel like it was late in the day, and I didn't do the best job of breaking it down. So have a little bit of context for what he's talking about here. But this one's kind of interesting to me, and also I know that Ryan Levesque is a really good marketer. So he actually wrote, do I have it here? I think I do. I think this is it. Oh, yeah. He wrote a book called Ask. If you are not familiar with it, check it out. It's all about having conversations with your customers and figuring out the type of product that they want and need before you go and build it. Because I think well, I know that's a problem that a lot of businesses have, is that or a lot of entrepreneurs anyway, they say, this is the thing that I want or that I'm interested in, so I'm going to go create it. And surely enough, if I make this thing, people will buy it, which is a fallacy. It's not true. So Ask is a really good book that kind of teaches you how to do the opposite of that and to create the product that your audience wants. So it's worth checking out. Anyway, is there anything in here? Okay, sweet. Actually, this is a pretty good little email. So, the business model of the future. I think the subject line could be a little bit stronger. Um, really, yeah, it's like the idea of a business model. This could definitely be stronger. How could we make it stronger though? So let's not just talk about problems, let's talk about solutions here. If we were to make this subject line better, what would we say? Let's read the email and then let's come back to it. New normal, while online memberships are the next big opportunity. Okay, cool. So he's talking about membership sites. I like that. Great. Continuity programs. Hey, it's Ryan here, and today I'll be doing a live Q&A session in the New Normal Facebook group to wrap up the 5-day challenge. So the email that I reviewed the other day that I didn't release was basically him announcing this New Normal challenge. And I'm actually going to go find the subject line. I'm going to find that after we review this and just show you, because he's doing something pretty interesting there that I think is worth pointing out. So, okay. Plus, we'll be talking about the biggest takeaways from Stu McLaren's new workshop, how to turn what you already know, love, and do into a profitable membership. I like that a lot. So I'm actually reading a book from Matt Fury right now, who was he's like an OG email marketer. But he talks about, like, when you title an info product, one of the things that you should keep in mind, or like the main thing that you should do when you title it, is talk about what people are going to get, right? And this is a really good way to do that. Essentially, we're talking about making your title what the benefit is for people, right? So this is a really good title for doing that. How to turn what you already know, love, and do into a profitable membership. Like, as soon as you read that, you know what you're going to get from it. And if you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to start your own business, that's a pretty strong subject line, and that's going to create some desire within you to check that workshop out. So get free access here when you sign up for the group. If you'd like to create predictable and reliable recurring revenue month after month, build a business to accommodate the current shifts taking place in your market for the one you want to tap into. And if you never again want to wonder where your next paycheck will come from, then launching a membership business could be one of the best decisions you'll ever make. Awesome. So one thing to pay attention to here is the if-then structure. So, like, if you want XYZ, then you should do this thing that I'm telling you about, right? So that's just a really powerful way to create a sales argument. Yeah, so basically, I don't think we need to go into that anymore, but just know that, if you see an if-then structure, if you want XYZ, then you should do ABC I'm one, somebody trying to sell you on something, but two, if you are trying to sell someone else on something, that's a really good way to do it. And let's kind of break this down a little bit. So if you'd like to create predictable and reliable recurring revenue month after month. So let's not just look at the copy here. Let's look at like the underlying emotions that this copy is bringing up for people. So for this one, can I use this to highlight? I don't think I can. I can just use, come on, Robert, use your logic. I want to make that go away though. Go away. No, go away. Be gone from me. Son of a. Okay, I really screwed myself on that. Can I even scroll? Stop. What's this do? Oh, okay, hang on. Let's refresh this. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, cool. So anyway, so what we're going to do here is we're going to look at like the underlying emotions here. So if you'd like to create predictable and reliable recurring revenue month after month. So this is really speaking to that core emotion or that desire for like certainty, right? So it's like a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, but we know that being an entrepreneur is taking a pretty big risk. So essentially, this is hinting at this idea of like you can kind of you can pad your income a little bit, right? So it's not necessarily saying like, hey, becoming an entrepreneur isn't risky, but it is hitting on this idea of like, if you do this thing that I am telling you about, you can have money coming in on a regular basis. You don't have to do that like classic Silicon Valley thing you hear about where you just eat ramen noodles for 3 years, right? You can create predictable, reliable income month after month. So that's really speaking to this need for certainty, this need for safety that people have. Build a business to accommodate the current shifts taking place in your market or the one that you want to tap into. Build a business to accommodate the current shifts taking place in your market or the one you want to tap into. And if you never again want to worry about your next, okay, this is really good. So if you look at all three of these as a whole, there's kind of like an underlying current of certainty and security, which I think is a really smart move because the one thing that people are experiencing right now in mass quantities is uncertainty and fear, right? So, like, whether you have your own business or whether you are an employee, there's a lot of just fear happening right now with people. So you're either afraid that you're going to lose your job or you are afraid that your business is going to crumble, right? So with these, if you'd like to create predictable and recurring revenue month after month, build a business to accommodate the current shifts taking place in your market. Also, pay attention here to the language, the current shifts taking place, right? We're not talking about like the current pandemic or the current like the incoming doom that's about to fall on our heads, right? We're talking about these shifts, and shifts are a natural thing. These are things that happen not predictably, but they happen naturally and regularly, okay? So this is kind of like putting a different spin or perspective on the way that people are looking at the current state of the economy, the current state of the world. So he's being very clear not to say like this crazy, terrifying thing that's going to ruin us all, right? It's no, like these are shifts, and you can build a business that works within these shifts and takes advantage of them, right? In a positive way. So that's actually really smart. And then again, speaking directly to the need for certainty and security here. So if you are an employee and you're worried about your job, this is really going to hit you in the feels, okay? So this is just a really strong section right here. Cool. Okay, so even in uncertain times. So if you've been waiting for an opportunity to leverage all your skills and experiences, another if then. Interesting. if you've been waiting for an opportunity to leverage all your skills and experiences, if you want to create more predictable and reliable, man, he's really hitting on this. I would imagine that Ryan Levesque, being Ryan Levesque and being the author of this book, Ask, about talking to your customers, I would imagine that they've had some conversations with their audience, and one of the biggest things that came out of that is this desire for predictable and reliable revenue, or this fear of losing your paycheck or losing your source of income or whatever. So just one thing to keep in mind is that, like, I would say all of marketing is showing people how your product moves people away from pain and towards pleasure, right? So in this situation, pain, fear, is not knowing where your next paycheck's going to come from. It's not having a secure, stable source of income, right? Excuse me. The pleasure, the thing that you want is secure, stable income. You want peace of mind. You want safety, right? So we're moving you away from this uncertainty, and we're moving you towards certainty, towards predictable, reliable, recurring revenue. Huh. Really smart. And if the new normal seems like an opportunity instead of an opposition, I'm not crazy about this phrase right here. You'll want to join us to go through the workshop together in the free group right now. I like the word together here. I don't know how intentional that is, but I think the thing that all of us can relate to is this kind of sense of isolation that comes with being quarantined and working from home. And, even if you're on Zoom meetings all day, there's still just something so impersonal about a screen, right? P.S. This training only happens once a year, and it could not come at a better time. Yeah, this is, I think, something that is a really strong angle right now, but I think with so many people doing it, it's kind of hard to do it well, or it's almost turned into a cliche, right? This idea that, if you're going to invest in yourself, if you're going to invest in your business, now is actually the best time to do it. And I believe 100% that that is true. I think the challenge is that a lot of people believe that's true, or at least a lot of people are using that in their marketing. So it's kind of a challenge, or you have to find a way to do it in a manner that comes off as authentic and not just like, oh, we're trying to sell you this thing, so now's the best time to do it, right? But I think this does a good job of that. This rides that line well. The key right now is certainty and predictability. Well, what have we talked about? What have we been talking about this whole time, right? Certainty, security, predictability. Man, damn good email, which is why a membership business is a no-brainer. So one of the things that I talk about, or one of the ways that I think about copywriting and marketing, man, that coffee is good. I'm not like a coffee snob by any means, which is why the statement will make sense. Dunkin' Donuts, like just ground coffee from the store, is the shit. It's what my dad drinks. I've been getting it recently, and I really like it. Maybe this is just me getting older. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Okay, one of the ways that I think about marketing is that, like, you have your product here and you have what your customer wants here, right? What they want, what they desire, what they're afraid of. Your marketing, your copywriting essentially is just connecting those two things, right? Like, how do you show people that your product gives them the things that they want and helps them move away from the things that they don't? That's what your marketing, that's what your copywriting is. And yeah, that's like exactly what this sentence is right now, right? So here's the thing that you want: certainty and predictability. Here's your product. You're selling this idea of a membership business, and it's a no-brainer, right? And you have this sentence, this whole email connecting those two things together. So yeah, honestly, this is a short, simple email, but it is straight up genius. It is so good, which is why it needs a better subject line. The business model of the future. Yeah, okay. So let's just double down on this idea of fear and uncertainty that people have right now. you could really say something like, wow, sorry for this side. Let's can we drop this down a little bit? Okay, hang on. Smaller, smaller, smaller. There we go. Okay. Maybe you can go a little bit smaller. Um, let's speak directly to people's pain point. Worried about money. How many words is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Yeah. This is it. I wouldn't call this the best subject line in the world. But it's fairly short and it speaks directly to this pain point and it gives people a solution to that pain point, right? So, which is what this whole email is trying to do. So, I would definitely, if I were to be a copywriter for Ryan Levesque, I would have gone with the subject line kind of like this. I think this one it's interesting, but like this email is so damn good, and I would love to see just an email subject line that's a little bit stronger that speaks directly to that pain and then again shows people what the solution to it is. So worried about money, check out this predictable business model. I think it's a subject line that does that a little bit more strongly. So okay, let's go find that other email just so we can talk about the subject line there because I thought it was really good. Okay. Cool. Okay. So this subject line I really like a lot. And here's why. So the in and how it affects your business. Excuse me. When you read this, you have no idea what this is, right? But you know that if you are a business owner, excuse me, I got the burps. If you're a business owner, if you want to be a business owner or an entrepreneur, you are probably interested in this. If there's this thing that you don't know about and it's affecting your business, that's like a cause for concern, right? So you open this email to find out what the heck is this double in thing, right? And if you look at it, this is the email where he announces this new normal challenge. You see that the double in is the new normal, right? And this is a concept that a lot of people have been talking about. But if he were to say in this subject line, the new normal and how it affects your business, like you might care, but probably not. But since there's this element of like, there's a veil here, right? There's an element of curiosity, this question of like, hang on, what is that? That's what makes you open this email. So I just think it kind of speaks to this idea that you can be talking about something similar to what other people are talking about, but it's always going to be important to frame it through like your unique lens, right? Um, so yeah, and that's something that I talked to Chris Orzakowski about when I was releasing my course. He was like, look, marketing concepts have been around forever, but what's important is that you frame these things through your unique experience, through your unique perspective and your unique lens. And that's what's really cool about this subject line is that like Ryan has taken this concept that is not necessarily unique, right? There's a lot of people talking about the new normal, and he has put this little twist on it that when you see this subject line, you say, hang on a minute, what is that? I need to check this thing out. So I just thought that was really cool and wanted to point that out. So anyway, hope that is helpful. That'll wrap us up for episode number 4 of Robert's Mailbox. And until next time, talk to you later.